Hey, what's up guys, aarava here, and welcome back to a brand new video here today. And today we are reacting to the brand new driver ratings in F1 2020. So I did a reaction video like this at the very start of the game, before the game even actually came out, at the driver ratings. There were some interesting choices, obviously, at the time, but now they're updated. I didn't actually know they were going to be doing this, but it looks like throughout the season, essentially, Codemasters will be looking at the real-life race performances and updating the stats, which you can get in your own career modes. They'll apply automatically to brand new saves, so if you make a new save right now in the game, you'll get these ratings. But right now, if you have current saves, like mine, my team career mode, you know, with my teammate assigned and whatnot, you can choose to update to these stats or keep the old ones if you want to kind of keep the continuity, I guess. I've chosen to update them, so in the latest episode coming later in the weekend, that'll have the updated stats, but it's a simple case of going to the mail system. It's a bit complicated. You have to go to the mail system, which is in the main menu on the bottom left, and then accept the updated stats. But you get the stat. Not every driver has been updated, I should say. It's only a couple, so don't get too ahead of yourselves. But essentially, drivers that have shown their worth, I guess, have been updated, and I hope they keep on doing this every kind of, 5-6 races, because I think it's really needed. Because there definitely were a few drivers, and I said this at the time in my reaction video, that kind of got a little bit of an underwhelming rating based off, unfortunate performances from last season, and certainly a few standout people have really performed in 2020 so far in this very weird season, so they kind of deserve the ratings. But we're here, we're going to react to the updates and talk about them, and also see how they affect my team career mode save. Now, before we get into looking at these F1 2020 driver cards, I want to show you guys my own custom driver card. Actually, two of them, actually. Yeah, one in Vloche Blue. Oh, that's that one. I can't figure out how I'm working my hands. That one in Vloche Blue. That one in Archer, aarava Archer, obviously neon green. One sec, but that's much better. There you go. Right, so yeah, I've got these awesome custom F1 cards, courtesy of footcard.co.uk. I'll put a link in the description. You can check them out. They're in the name. They do football cards, like Ultimate Team, but they're also now doing F1 versions of these very cards that you see in games. So you can get the driver cards or make your own custom card, photo, stats, whatever you want. So I've got a Vloche one here, and then the more interesting one is the aarava Archer one. I've got a few little Easter eggs there, zero awareness. Obviously, I've been spinning a lot, so I felt that was necessary. I've got 80 million contract costs, but a 3 million buyout, because I switch teams. You guys know me. I switch teams every single season, so I felt that was necessary. Such a big salary, but such a cheap buyout because I'm going to move teams. I'm probably going to move away from my own team, knowing me. Somehow, I'll find a way in my team. But yeah, very, very cool. Really awesome quality, really solid cards. So yeah, if you want to check those out, as I said, link in the description, footcard.co.uk. You can check out the driver cards that you're about to see, literally. You can get driver cards, literally like this, or you can get, your own custom ones. You can choose your own stats and whatnot. I think you can also customize the driver cards as well themselves. So if you fancy giving yourself like a 99 rated Hamilton, I think you can do that. So check it out. Just a little bit of fun, and definitely a nice bit of a wallpaper. But I'm going to maybe try and put it over there, potentially, if I can find something to stick it up with. But yeah, very, very cool. Thank you very much, Footcard. Right then, though, let's dive into these improvements. So first of all, it's going to be Max Verstappen, now 91 rated. Red Bull's Max Verstappen has stood on the podium a grand total of 5 times so far this season, which sees his pace, awareness, and overall rating increase. So obviously the experience hasn't gone up, because that's more of a, over the last few seasons they add that total up. So still quite early on in his career, to be fair, compared to other people like Lewis Hamilton. So 66 there, but racecraft, awareness, and pace has gone up. 98 pace, that is... Ooh, that is scintillating. It's going to be very, very quick. And so he goes up to 91. I can't remember... well, actually, that's the whole point of later on this video. I'll be comparing what they are in my own career mode, so we'll see what they were. You can have a nice comparison. But Verstappen now 91 rated. We move to Lando Norris. This was a big one. I thought already it was unfortunate they rated Lando quite low compared to Sainz, even though Sainz did do a great job. Obviously, Lando was improving at the end of last season, but into this one now he's 81 rated. No surprise that Lando Norris's rating has gone gone up due to some exceptional performances, including that debut podium in Austria, going from P8 to P5 on the last lap of the Styrian Grand Prix. So 81 rated now. Experience is very low still. Racecraft, though, that's the big one, 90. I think that went up by a decent amount. Obviously, you know, the last lap to dodge all those cars, you know, the way he came back through using the ERS and whatnot, very, very decent. And then awareness and pace, 84 both there. So a little bit better, closely matched to Sainz. I think Sainz is still 82 rated as a base level. So obviously, you've got to remember, even though these cards are being updated now due to the 2020 performances, the baseline of all these cards is like correlated between, you know, the last 5 years of performances. So there's a reason why Sainz potentially has still got a base level that's higher than Norris, because obviously he's been in the sport for longer, so there's more data. It's still early days in Norris's career, which is kind of crazy thing, because it feels like Lando's been there for ages now, but it's only his second full season. We move to one of my favorites on the grid. I'm not saying that jokingly. A lot of you guys think I actually hate Gasly. Obviously in the game we have that whole jokey thing going, but Gasly has been improved. He really got finessed at the start of the game, I felt. He really did not deserve the rating he had. He's now 82 rated. He's been one of the standouts. You know, Leclerc has said he's been the best driver, period, this season so far in interviews, and to be honest, he's done a great showing in AlphaTauri, but just to kind of give you Cody's description of it, Scuderia AlphaTauri's Pierre Gasly has put his car in the top 10 3 times, with key overtaking, including some great on-track battles with Lance Stroll and Sebastian Vettel. His awareness has increased by 3, his pace by 4, which has moved his overall rating up 2 points. So 82 rated, but the fact that his pace is improved by 4 is a mega thing in terms of the quali times we'll see from him maybe in the game will be much better. Awareness 90, you know, that's really decent. Racecraft 84 and the experience 55, which is a little bit odd still. It's still kind of puzzling that he's only 1 point ahead of like Norris, to say that it's his technically, you know, 3rd season in Formula 1, you know, 1 in Toro Rosso, then obviously the half and half season, and then his 3rd full season. So a bit odd in that kind of regard still, but good to see him improved, especially so on the pace worth. 4 points, that's a big deal, I feel. We move on to another, I think, fan favourite of improvements here. George Russell, rated 76 here, so you probably won't be shocked to find out that George Russell's rating has changed too. His performances have netted him 2 extra experience points and 6 additional awareness points. That's not all. His incredible qualifying form has added 2 more pace points, all of which increases overall by 1 to 76. So even though his stats have improved by quite a fair bit, his overall's not improved that much. But as I mentioned in the original rating reaction video, you've got to remember, these ratings aren't just, it's hard with Formula 1. You know, the car determines so much of what the driver can do, so you're going to think of it as like in tandem with the Williams and Russell together. They can't really be rating Russell any higher because he's just then too good to be in that car. Well, he is too good to be in that car in real life, but in the game, the way the mechanics work with everything, if they were to put him too high, your AI, the AI of Russell and the AI of Williams, that car would be doing too well for it where it really should be at the base level of the game. Obviously, it's different later on in seasons when Williams have improved their car, but as it stands at the start of the game, as I said in that first reaction video, there's a reason why they can't put him any higher, I feel. I think that's why, personally, that's the explanation of how I see why they've had to do that. Obviously, in reality, I feel like Russell should be right up there, you know, 81 rated with like Lando, because he's got the talent, obviously. Move on then to Daniel Ricciardo, who's also been bumped up, as well as Lance Stroll. I don't know why, for some reason, they put Ricciardo and Stroll together in one bunch, and then they did the rest I don't get that, but anyway, elsewhere, Racing Points Lance Stroll and then Racing Points Daniel Ricciardo moved up 1 in their overall ratings, taking them to 79 and 88 respectively. They haven't mentioned what went up, so I don't actually know right now, but we'll see a little bit later when we compare and contrast. But 88 rated now for Ricciardo. I would tend to agree. I don't know what it was. He must have been 87 then if they moved up by 1, is it? Yeah, 1. So 87, not a massive deal there, but obviously Ricciardo's been on fine form. Obviously a banging qualifying at the Belgian Grand Prix just gone by, so decent stuff for that. And then Lance Stroll 1 up, obviously. They were a little bit harsh on him. You know, Stroll's not obviously one of the best drivers out there, but you know, he's not bad. He's okay. I guess he does the job that he's paid to do, basically, in that second car with his dad paying for the seat, essentially. But we move down. We've got all the stats here, and then you can see all the new cards, but then the ones that have improved. Leclerc also improved. I don't know why they haven't mentioned that in this article. Leclerc also went up by 1, I think it was. as well. We look through any other drivers that went up the order. No, looks like that's it. I don't know why they include Hamilton. I guess there's a yardstick. But we're now going to move over to the game, and we're going to compare and contrast my game save pre-patch with these pre-patch from these ratings, and then post-patch with the new additions added on, and see how much of a difference it made. Obviously, we'll just see in game, basically. Right, so it's gonna be a little bit blurry here, but now we've got some screenshots from my game. So quite nicely, before I accepted the new ratings, I went through and screenshotted every single driver and then did it afterwards with the ratings, so we can see the difference here. So even though Hamilton explicitly wasn't really mentioned as improving that much, this can't just be the natural game. I think this must be the patch actually changed some of the stats. So he's still 95 rated in my game. Obviously, he's gone up by 1 rating overall from his 94 on the base card when you load up career mode. But you can see experience has gone up by 1. I think race pace has stayed the same. Awareness has changed. Awareness actually went down, quite weirdly enough, from 96 to 91. I don't know why that actually happened. And pace went up by 2, so that makes sense. But I don't know why awareness went down. It seems kind of weird, because also it seems weird because I think Bottas, if we move him over here, so that's Bottas before. He's got 98 awareness. He's still got 98 awareness. I've forgotten the definition of awareness in the game, but if you just think on the face of it, it makes no sense why he's still got that. Pace-wise, he's the same. It's just his racecraft has gone down by 1, which I agree with. Experience are the same, so that's Bottas. We move on to Leclerc. Now, this is a driver that we didn't see in the article, talked about that improved, but Leclerc, 88 rated before, and now he's 89 rated overall. In terms of experience, he went up by 1 to 64 there. Race pace doesn't look like he changed. No, he hasn't changed there. And then awareness is this. Awareness went up by 2, actually, so fair play. Awareness by 2, pace is the same. So awareness went up and experience went up. So that's all right. That's decent enough. And then we move on down the order. We're going to kind of flick through Verstappen. We already saw that with 91. Ricardo, 90 rated in my career mode, at least. So what's Ricardo post-patch there? It looks pretty downbeat about his update. But pre-patch, 83. Now he's 84. And then the awareness went up by 1. And then the pace stayed the same there for him. We got a few drivers like Perez that also went up or down. Actually, Perez went down. He went from 87 overall to 86 in my career. I've only actually seen this for the first time. So what did he go down on? Race pace? No, yeah, his race pace went down by 1, and awareness went down a lot, because he's 82 here, and he's 79 here, so that was a big difference there. I guess I can maybe see, you know, some performances, maybe like the Austrian Grand Prix, where he broke his front wing, maybe that's to do with awareness, potentially, and then obviously he just missed out 2 Grand Prix, so I don't know if that kind of factored into it. Albon, they downgraded, it looks like. He was 82 before, and then if I go to there, that's 81, that's the new patch, so experience went up by 2, which is obviously, as you would expect. Race pace did go up by 2. Racecraft went up by 2. Sorry, Racecraft went up by 2. But then I think his yeah, they really nerfed his awareness. Awareness is down by 5 points there, which is quite harsh, but I can see maybe why. If in the game, I think awareness is to do with avoiding stuff and getting around stuff. So I guess in the season, you know, there's been times where maybe Albon's been stuck in traffic, unable to avoid, you know, traffic in qualifying, let alone in the race potentially. So I can maybe see why. And then pace, unfortunately, went down by 2 as well. So sad times for Albon there, getting downgraded. Also, Sainz got downgraded as well. So my current teammate, obviously, we're probably going to switch him out in Season 3, but he also got rated differently. He's the same overall, so nothing changed on that front, but the experience did go up by 1. His racecraft went down by 2 to 87 there. Awareness went up by 1, which is good to see, and then pace stayed the exact same. So racecraft, maybe that's why, yeah, because I updated this before USA. So we saw in USA, he went backwards, so maybe that's why. Maybe his racecraft just, he went down, so maybe in the race, that's why he decided to choose a 2-stop or something. I don't know. That might factor into awareness. It's kind of a bit, you know, wishy-washy how it actually affects things, like, on the circuit when we get to it, but that's interesting to see that Sainz got that little tweak there. I'm curious to see, did Grosjean get any difference? So if I cycle through, this is post-patch, so, oh no, that's Magnussen, my bad. I mean, they're kind of almost the same person, really, these days with Haas. Grosjean is the same overall, but his racecraft went down by 1, and then his awareness went down. His awareness went up by 1! Grosjean's awareness went up by 1. Okay, that's interesting. And his pace stayed the same. Interesting one, Codemasters. I don't really see how you've come to that conclusion, but there we go. Oh, and I forgot, lastly, Latifi got absolutely slapped in this update. He's 73 overall in my career mode, pre-patch. Post-patch, 69 rated. So he went down 4 overall. He's basically the same level now as... He's actually worse than Jack Aitken, because I trained Jack Aitken in Season 1, and he's the same level as Mick Schumacher, in my save at least, because he went up by a lot on experience, from 39 to 51, but then Racecraft went down by 3, awareness went down by 10 awareness. That is really harsh. And then pace-wise, he went down by 5 as well. I think they've done him dirty there, because I know he's not had the best season compared to Russell, but it is his rookie season, so they have been quite harsh to him. But I guess he's a rookie coming in, so he kind of technically he probably should be the same level as F2 drivers. But there you have it. That is the reaction to the brand new driver ratings updates. Like I said, I didn't really know they're going to be doing this so often, so hopefully they do it again in, like, two triple headers time, in 6 races time, and they re-update it later in the season. In terms of the cars, you may be wondering, by the way, when the car performances patch, we've been told that's going to come some point in October, which correct me if I'm wrong. I might be too harsh on Codemasters here. I think that's far too long to wait. I don't know why it's taken them to October, literally just to determine we need to turn down the stats on the engine side for all Ferrari cars, and then maybe boost Racing Point by a little bit, maybe Renault by a tad. But we've been told that in October, Racing Point and Ferrari will be adjusted. No other teams will be adjusted, apparently, according to the article. So it's a bit of a weird one. Obviously, personally, for me, I'm at the point in my career mode where it doesn't matter anymore, because now, all my teams have done their own thing. The AI have done their own thing, so it won't really matter to me too much. In a way, for my own career mode save, I kind of hope that it doesn't affect the current saves, because I've now got my own storyline of how, good Ferrari are, for instance, in my Season 2. But for the base level cars, I don't know, I feel like it's just taken too long. They've, given, obviously, the answer that why it's taken so long is because, obviously, they have to go through the actual real-life data, and that's how they determine it. But I feel like they could have just done a quick hotfix at least, just for those people who are getting the game now in the first month, because all you can plainly see is you just need to add way more drag to Ferrari and turn down those numbers for the engine for all Ferrari-powered cars. But obviously, that's just me. Obviously, technically, it's probably a lot more complicated, so who am I to talk on all that? But anyway, that's been this reaction video then to the driver ratings. Really cool. Hope I can do it again, maybe in like 2 months' time, and see how the drivers get on with their updates from real life. But if you guys did enjoy this reaction, then be sure to hit that like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments below of the updates. Do you agree with them? Do you disagree with some? Do you feel like some drivers got left out in the rain in terms of when it came to the updates? Personally for me, I feel like Bottas definitely should have got way more of a nerf than he had. He basically didn't get anything, essentially. But let me know in the comments below. If you're new around here, though, do get subscribed for weekly Formula 1 content. I've been aarava. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the day. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.